Hello. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about Unit 1, which is the personal narrative essay. I'm going to switch to that screen so you guys can see. Share. Okay. Unit 1, the personal narrative essay, is a 2-page essay that discusses an experience that you have had. It's you telling a story. Okay. So you've got reading assignments. Make sure you click here and read all of the reading assignments and look at all the links that I've provided in here. Grammar is also listed in here as far as some links, some common errors that students make. So you definitely want to make sure you proofread and edit and you understand how to do that and what to look for before submitting your essays. If you need to go to the tutoring center to do that, they will gladly help you. There are grammar checkers online. Grammarly does check for grammar, but you have to be careful with Grammarly because Grammarly can also show up as you trying to use artificial intelligence to create a paper. So if you're using Grammarly, it just needs to be for grammar checking. That is it, because it will show up when you submit, and we don't want that to happen. So, or have somebody else look over your essays, help proofread, help you proofread, and so forth. Then you have the personal narrative instructional PowerPoint. This is a PowerPoint that I deliver to my seated classes. So definitely take your time, look through the process for writing this type of essay. Essay resources, how to set up your essay in correct MLA format. This is very important. You don't want point deductions for something that's really simple to do. So definitely watch this video. I show you exactly how to do that. Here's a student sample personal narrative essay. You can click on it, look at it. Here's another sample that I've provided. Again, these are from former students who have given me permission. I think I included one of my own in there so you can get an idea. For your writing assignments, you have, for this unit, you've got the course introductions. This is where you introduce yourself. This is an easy 100. You go in, you introduce yourself with about 50 to 100 words. The word counter is on, so I do see how many words you have. Please make sure you always meet that length requirement. And tell a few things about yourself. You can include a picture if you don't mind sharing. So it's your chance to get to introduce yourself to the class and maybe get to know each other. Then you have the personal narrative essay. Now notice the due dates are different. One is due by this Sunday and then one is due by next Sunday. So please be sure that you look at the due dates and make sure you submit the correct assignments on the correct dates. The personal narrative essay, if you click here, it will bring up a link or a document to the essay instructions, okay? Now I have to open it up this way, so give me just a second. Okay. Now, the personal narrative essay is literally, I'll move it over here, is literally a 2-page paper. Now, granted, when I tell a story, sometimes my stories are not going to fit into 2 pages. They may go over. The more descriptive you are, the better. The more details you give, the better. You're not just telling someone of this experience, you're showing them through your words. So the personal narrative has to be about one specific experience that you've had. The example that's provided in the PowerPoint is an experience I had when I was a child that I remember like it was yesterday, of being traumatized and attacked by a cat who ended up foaming at the mouth and we thought had rabies. So it was a big ordeal for me. So you can kind of see how my thought process was whenever I was trying to write that story or tell that story. So you can see that in the PowerPoint if you go back and look. But you want to choose one experience that you've had that was memorable. And again, a lot of those experiences are probably traumatic or they're sad. It could be really exciting, but you want to make sure you limit yourself to one experience. Don't write about your trip to Disney because Lord have mercy, you guys know that Disney, there's so much that goes on. Write about your experience on one of the rides, or write about your experience at one of the restaurants, or the hotel or on the flight or whatever. Choose one experience. Keep your audience in mind. Please do not write about any topics that are illegal, that are inappropriate for an academic audience. Kind of think about that. I like to give students kind of the freedom to choose, but there has to be some boundaries. So I've had some doozies submitted before. So just please stick to a story that you can tell. And everybody's got a story, everybody's got a memory, everybody's got something. So I usually have students, well, I can't think of anything. Well, it could be the best day that you can remember, or it could be the time you won a contest at school, or the time that your first day of school, or your first day on a new job, or whatever. It could be, whatever you experience. But keep in mind, this is a 2 to 3 page paper. If you go over a little bit, which I would totally, that's fine. Just don't go crazy, because I have a lot of papers to grade, and papers that, if you're not keeping it within the length requirement, it's very difficult to get papers graded on time. So please be sure to stick to that length requirement. At least 2 full pages. You do not want point deductions for not meeting the length requirement. It should be in MLA format. So look at that link I provided. And you do not need to use any resources, nothing for this. This is just you. And you can use first person in this experience because it is a narrative. Now, when we move to the other essays, you cannot use first person anymore. So that's going to be a hard switch. But here, tell your story, show your story. Look at the samples that I provided. Look at the samples in the book to look at it and see what they look like and how you should model yours by it. But please proofread and edit before you submit. Make sure that your paper is in MLA format, correct MLA format. Make sure that you proofread and edit for grammar. Make sure you meet the length requirement, and make sure you entertain me with a good story. So if you have any questions about the personal narrative essay, don't hesitate to contact me. Let me find the page that I'm trying to share back with. There we go. I'm here, definitely. And if there is something wrong with the essay once you've submitted, and I need you to revise, I need you to make sure you check your feedback, and I need you to make sure that you look at your email too, because I may contact you and say, this needs to be revised because it doesn't follow directions, or it's, not doing this or not doing that. So if I give you a chance to revise, that's a good thing. Okay. So, just keep in mind that I do not give chances for revisions if it's not complete. It needs to be complete. But I do provide chances for revisions if I feel that, a better grade can be achieved based on what they've already submitted. But definitely make sure you submit on time. All assignments have to be submitted on time because of the time constraint we're in. This class ends like mid-October. So we have, a lot to get through. So don't wait to the last minute to submit work. Assignments are due by midnight on Sundays for the most part, unless otherwise noted. But please understand too, don't wait till 11 o'clock to start working on this, or wait till 11:30 to submit, because guys, I've had so many students that have had computer issues, or internet goes out, or whatever. And then, computer issues are not a reason for submitting work late. So please make sure that you submit on time, or at least have a backup plan. If something happens with your internet or your computer, that you can go somewhere else really quick and submit your work. So just please always have a backup plan. I have to have a backup plan as an instructor. If I am supposed to submit grades on time, or do this or do that, I have to get somewhere that has working Wi-Fi and a working computer if I'm expected to do that. So please understand, students have one freebie assignment, the whole semester. Because I know life happens. If you happen to submit an assignment late, or, forget about it, whatever, you have 4 days to submit the assignment. And once that freebie is used, that's it. So please make sure you stay on top of your work. Work ahead when you need to. But like I said, look at my feedback before moving on to the next essay. And in order to view your feedback, you'll just click on the submission link. And then for you guys, it comes up, if you scroll down, you'll see feedback files. You can click on that and it'll give you my feedback. If you have trouble seeing my feedback, make sure you let me know immediately. Okay. If you need anything, let me know. This is Unit 1. I will try to post one for Unit 2 as well to explain anything that might need explaining, but I really need you guys being online learners and going through the course and looking at each resource and studying each resource so that you're prepared to write that essay. All right. If you need anything, please feel free to email me.